Yes,
Yes. Hey,
Stefan.
Michael. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Did Chris and or
Yeah, so Chris told me, what's his name?
Zahid?
Yeah, he told me he was going to come up.
Yeah. So you guys have a second mic and everything?
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So we'll have, is that start of the second half?
Yeah. So I'll bring him up at half time.
Beautiful.
And then so you can have a bit of a chat to him, and then I think it could be something different, you know, having a
It's
player.
good to get the player because then they can analyse it. Like.
subject to monitoring by closed-circuit television or other recording and photographing devices. And any footage and/or images taken may be provided to FE, who may provide such information to the responsible authorities. By entering the club venue, the patron shall be deemed to have given consent to such monitoring and provision of such footage or images in accordance with this clause. Persons entering the playing area without authorization will be ejected from the club venue and may be prosecuted or banned from future matches in accordance with the policy. Patrons should be aware that sporting equipment such as footballs may be kicked or strung from the playing field into the seating or standing areas during events. Patrons choosing to leave valuables at the venue do so at their own risk, and neither the club, FE, or the venue management shall be responsible for any damage to or loss or theft of the patron's personal property. Pass-outs may be issued at the discretion of the club. All patrons may be subject to bag searches, pat-downs, electronic scanning before entering the club venue, and any items not permitted to be brought into the club venue may be confiscated by venue staff. Patrons should note that children must be supervised by an accompanying adult at all times while in the club venue. Some areas of the venue may be exposed to direct sunlight and heat. Patrons are required to take appropriate care of their sun protection appropriate behaviour at all times. It is important that all spectators at a Football Victoria approved fixture can enjoy the match in a safe and comfortable environment. There is no excuse for abuse. Accordingly, each person present at an FA fixture must respect the decisions and instructions of the match officials and group marshals, respect the rights, dignity and worth of every person regardless of their age, gender, gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, ability, race, colour, religion, language, politics, national or ethnic origin. Not shame, humiliate, oppress, belittle, harass, or degrade any player, match official or spectator. Not engage in the use of physical or verbal abuse, whether it be by other spectators or team officials or players. Not engage in any form of verbal, physical or online bullying.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Facilities and equipment of all clubs and venues. Report any instances of discrimination or threatening behaviour to a match official, ground marshal, or by contacting discipline at footballvictoria.com.au. Comply with FA's condition of entry at all venues and any ticket conditions. Not carry, light, or throw flares or missiles, including onto the field of play or at other spectators. Not enter the field of play or its surrounds without lawful authority. Conduct themselves in a manner that enhances, rather than injures,
Mic check.
their reputation and
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test test test test test 1 2. Hume City Nassau Stadium. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Perfect. Beautiful.
flag, emblem, or insignia which may offend the person. Ensure all social media posts related to or affiliated with FE are respectful, accurate, lawful, and uphold the reputation of FE and its members. This includes, but is not limited to, all players and opposition players. Adopt and maintain a responsible attitude surrounding the consumption of alcohol and other controlled substances with respect to the venue policies. Any person who does not comply with this code, or who in the opinion of the club and/or FE causes, attempts to cause, or is reasonably likely to cause a disturbance, may be evicted from the venue and banned from attending future matches held on behalf of the FE. Any offender who then breaches the banning order against them may be charged with trespassing and subject to additional penalties and sanctions, including the possibility of further legal action. Thank you. And enjoy.
Yavaş yavaş sahaya yaklaşıyorum böyle. Nick'in böyle kulağına fısıldayacağım arkadaşlar.
Yukarıdan aşağı doğru geliyorsun.
Çocuklara maç orada bayılıyorum. same. Well, it's two teams that are coming off back-to-back wins. This time, who will get the 3 points over one another? We're going to have to wait and find out. Welcome, everybody, to Naciol Stadium, home of Hume City, as they play hosts to the Bentley Greens in round 3 of the Senol NPL Victorian competition. A big game feel here for two teams that, as I just mentioned, came off 2 wins. Both were droughts. Let's see who can topple one another and get the 3 points. Before we do kick-off proceedings, we will have a 1 minute of silence for Halit Kirdar, who tragically passed away last week on Sunday. He was one of the original members of the club and the grandfather of number 10, Birkan Kirdar.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin today's game, we will be observing a minute's silence to honour and remember the late Halit Kirdar, who recently passed away. The founder of Anadolu Sport, Halit was a highly respected member of our community and will be deeply missed. Please join us in a minute's reflection.
So a minute of silence there, paid in tribute for Halit Kirdar, the grandfather of Birkan Kirdar. Let's take you through the starting lineups for both of these two teams, starting off with the host Hume City, as we have a relatively unchanged squad. Only just the one change for them as Tyler Shrivers is out of the lineup. He has undergone an injury from last week's game against South Melbourne. In will be Braden Spink, so it will be Christopher Oldfield in between the sticks, along too with Braden Spink and the man in Aaron Culver. They are the two central defensive players. And then we have Koda Kador, number 14, as one of the fullbacks, along too with Aidan Coyne, the other fullback in the right position. In the midfield, Josh O'Kane and Steve White. And the attacking midfielder is Birkan Kirdar. And on the left flank position is number 7, Adisu Bayu. And on the right flank position is Christopher Engelhardt, and the man right up at the front is Godfrey Dabalay. That is the lineup for Hume City. And while for Bentley Green, same thing, relatively unchanged except for the one. That one change being Dimitri Relos is in, replacing Alan Jerez, who went down sustained with an injury last week against Avondale. In between the sticks will be Brendan White, Kalu Kamara, and Michael Boffey, the two central defensive players. Scott Hillier, the captain, on the right-hand full-back position, along to with Dion Nikolaidis, the other full-back position. Keiji Kageyama, the central defensive midfielder, along to with Dimitri Relos and Dario Boldea, the other two midfielders. Luca Resti will play on the right-hand flank position, and we have Maki Petratos who will play on the left-hand flank position, and then the man up front is Anthony Lynn. Talking you through the substitutions as well. The substitutions are Josh Bingham, Jacob Adams, Damon Camilleri, Frank Basasa, Aiki Tsukamoto, and John Paikopoulos. Those are the substitutions for Hume City. And for the Bentley Greens, it is Dennis Manilau, Anthony Frangi, Patrick Hogan, Ahmed Taleb, Jawad Rezai, and Brando Conte. Those are the substitutions for both the respective teams here at Naciol Stadium. We're pretty much ready for kickoff here. Should be 1 interesting contest, to say the least. As I did mention, both of these two teams coming off 2 drought wins. It was 7 years since the last time Hume City managed to beat South Melbourne, and did they manage to do it? Then a 2-1 victory at home at Lakeside Stadium. And well, for Bentley, they had to wait 6 years and 5 months to beat Avondale last week at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. I was on the call last week with Neil Simons. A special shout out to him. He is on OFC Pro League duty this weekend, doing some ground announcing there at the home of the Matildas. So a shout out to Neil Simons. Bentley had to wait 2,350 days to get a win against Avondale. That was the last time that they got a win. It was 6 years and 5 months. Bentley Greens kicking from right to left, I should say. Left to right, sorry, correction. And Hume City going from right to left. Hume City did quite some job last week against South Melbourne. Some people might say that possibly it was an undermanned South Melbourne squad. Obviously, South Melbourne will prioritise that OFC Pro League to the best of their ability, so possibly not prioritising their main stars. They did have Noel Bernarda, along too with Tonis Yanakopoulos and Yuki Cheetah on the bench. But nevertheless, though, 3 points is 3 points, and especially for Hume City, it will come at all costs. Here's Kador directly in front of us. Bayu, who's one of the newly appointed players in this Hume City squad, coming from Preston, the former Western United player as well. Oresti just keeping it alive over the touchline. The ball will be all the way in the back third for the Bentley Greens, who elect to switch it to Dion Nikolaidis. So last week, 2-0 victory for Bentley, I should say, at home at Kingston Heath against Avondale. 2-1 victory on the road for Hume City against South Melbourne. 2 big drought wins for them. Who will carry more momentum into this game this afternoon? We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, 2 games that occurred last night. One at Churchill Reserve between the Oakley Cannons and St Albans Dynamo. Oakley managing to take home the 3 points and a 3-1 victory. So we might have to hold on to that. Hume City looking to try and attack early on. Both teams still looking to try and feel each other out. Oresti going on the far side, threads it beautifully to a cutting Dario Boldea, who's tackled by Kirda, or Birkan Kirda, I should say. The proper Turkish way to say it. Shout out to all our Turkish viewers that are watching, and some that are here as well in attendance at Nassau Stadium. A great club that's run here, Hume City. How immaculate the pitch is as well, as you can see. Line's all done, looking fresh for this afternoon's encounter. Second time Hume playing at home in their 2026 campaign. The last time they were here fell short to Altona, as we might have an attack here. Kageyama tried to thread it through to Anthony Lynn, who was cutting up forwards, but instead it was Oldfield managing to just get there in the nick of time. As I just mentioned, Altona Magic getting that win here last time out. A 3-1 victory for them against Hume City. Hume were the first to bite. And then obviously it was Altona that came guns blazing, managing to score 3 goals on the trot. Here's Bayu from the failed header by Kamara, I should say. Bumbled up my words there. Here's Boldea in the centre circle. Another player that really made a big impact last week against Avondale. Had Dimitri Relos cutting in. Dimitri Relos, who was subbed in for Alan Jerez, who went down last week in the opening stage of that game. And we might have attacking a chance here. Here's Engelhardt, who's one-on-one with Nikolaidis. He's inside the box. Hasn't got too many options. He's outnumbered. At the Kirda, once again, out to Engelhardt, who has Kageyama for company. Going to try and cross it in. Ball goes nowhere. It's Kador managing to recover it. Keeps it alive for Hume City. Going to take a boot from well outside the box. It's about a metre outside, and that ball just being kicked out of harm's way there. So Hume City, Braden Spink kicking that one just in the nick of time. Both teams trying to shake off the cobwebs here. Hume City especially. Their last game was on Thursday last week. Bentley Their last game was on Friday night. So it's been a while since they've been out in an actual match scenario. Obviously, it's one thing to actually play practice games, but it's another thing to actually have and be put in a proper match-like scenario, as Relos tries to get a touch and keep the ball alive, and instead it will go over the touchline. The 41st meeting between these two sides. Bentley leads the head-to-head tally, 18 wins, only the 12 for Hume City. They've had a total of 10 draws in between them as well. Who's going to win this 41st encounter? We'll have to wait and find out, won't we? Throwing goes all the way to Michael Boffey, another former Preston Lions player, playing against his good friend Adisu Bayu. They came really close in friendship when they were both obviously transferred in that mid-season transfer window. There's a little bit of a slippage here. Engelhardt threading it through to Kirda, who just lost it. And it was Scott Hilliard who managed to kick it away, but we do have Birkan Kirda who's down. Not ideal there for Hume City, especially Kirda going down early on. Their main man, Birkan Kirda, spent multiple seasons playing for Melbourne Victory. From 2018 to 2022, spent 5 seasons with them, played a total of 38 games. A former Dandenong Thunder player before joining last year. Had a total of 23 games and managed to net 4 goals last year, Birkan Kirda, so keep your eyes out on him. One big question will be, how will this Hume City team go? Obviously with their losses of both Lloyd Isgrove and Michael Weir. White with the free kick and headed away by Kamara. So the first corner here of this afternoon on the far post. In the far position, and it will be Steve White once again to take it. The Queenslander, former Central Coast Mariner and Melbourne Knights player. Spent some time as well at Olympic FC Brisbane, playing in the FFA Cup, and then obviously most notably playing for the Melbourne Knights last year. 55 games played for him. Also managed to boot in 1 goal as well. He's a player that they'll want to really try and get involved in this one, as the corner comes in and just goes over the crossbar there from Brendan White. And the corner will switch from, I was going to say, from one corner post to the near side. Instead, it will stay on the far post. Last time these two teams played, wasn't too many corners. Let's see what can be made this time out. White again with the corner. This time manages to go right at the 6-yard box area. And that one going over the sideline touch line. Both teams still feeling each other out here. And we do have Kamara down in the box. Hopefully he's all right. He looks to be okay. Couple early cobwebs and little botches being played out between the two. Kamara looks to be okay, so he's managing to just walk it off. So good news for them. One of the inclusions for the Bentley Greens that they managed to pick up in their off-season transfer window. Making his way over from Avondale, Kaliu Kamara. Boy, is he quite some defender. Spent 3 years playing at Avondale. Now part of the Bentley Greens outfit. Here's Kirda. Just cutting it centrally. Manages to thread it out wide for Coyne. Coyne is in space. Dion Nicolidis directly in front of him. Thought for a second about going forwards. Instead, just going to work it back to Calva. And once again back out to Coyne. So just playing a bit of 1-2 touch. Calva cutting it inside for Engelhardt. Engelhardt, another player that they really want to try and get involved in this one. Last week, boy, did he have some game, Engelhardt. Let's see if he can try and replicate it here this afternoon. It's a low cross attempt. Could this be a chance here for Hume? It is very close. Birkan Kirda, once again, trying to get involved, that attacking midfielder. Keep your eyes out for him, number 10. Obviously, after losing Lloyd Isgrove to St Albans Dynamo, possibly the new face of Hume City is Birkan Kirda. I'm sure he'd love to do this game well for his grandfather that had that 1 minute of silence. Rest in peace to Khalid Kirdar. Here's Kador threading it through one-on-one. Tried to go off to Bayou. Instead, ball's threaded all the way out now. Finding O'Kane centrally. Off to Kirdar once again. Thought about the kick. Instead, rolls it out wide to Coyne. Coyne again thought about going. Instead, going to thread it all the way out. Once again, Engelhardt tries to cross it in. Ball's inside the box. Bayou rose up. Could this be a chance? Ball still up in the air. O'Kane takes a boot from well outside. Had a number of bodies inside the box. Didn't really get any good look. And Bentley Greens managing to hold up there well. The Bentley Greens back third is one that they really pride themselves on. Last week really managed to keep Avondale at bay. Only restricted them to 8 shots on goal, 2 of which were on target. It's those 2 inclusions of Kamara and Michael Boffey in that central defensive position that are really stopping them from allowing their opposition to really attack. Kamara being one, but Michael Boffey as well, adding to that depth. Dion Nicolidis as well in that left fullback position. Boy, is he quite some player. Did a really good job last week at containing Georgia and Bruno Fornaroli from attacking. Let's see if they can try and replicate it and do the same here this afternoon. Spink out now, threading it through, and this could be a chance here now. Bayou, who's inside the box, tried to contain it but couldn't from the pass from White. Here's Steve White now once again. Threading it out to Kador on this near side. Kador, who's one-on-one with Dimitri Relos. Ball's up forwards. And Kador a little bit frustrated with that one. Speaking to our referee, saying he pulled on my shirt, but referee's words final. Special shout out as well to our match officials as well. They do an incredible job, so a shout out to them. Again, they can only call it from what they see. So a really good shout out to our referees here. Both coaches relatively animated down here in the dugouts. Both George Vatsakis, along too with Nick Hegarty. Nick Hegarty, this is his 73rd game in charge as coach of Hume City. Obviously had a prior stint back in 2017 and 2022. We might hold on to that actually. Petratos, who was phenomenal last week, tries to get involved again. That time was denied. Oldfield going to give it a boot on the far side. That was Engelhardt who tried to control it down, but instead the ball was just way too close to the touchline. And we'll be out for a throw-in for the Bentley Greens. A little bit of a mishap. Bayou tried to recover it. Bayou once again received the pass beautifully. He did. Still, he got 2 men on him. Wasn't going to succeed on that whatsoever there, Adesu Bayou. It was a good look indeed from Steve White, but he just couldn't quite, I should say Joshua O'Kane instead, but couldn't really try and create any separation and space there. Here's O'Kane. Receives the pass from the touches from Kirdar and Bayou. They're going to go all the way to their back third, and they're going to try and switch it. Aaron Calver, another inclusion into this team for Hume City. Former Australian under-17s international player, a 2-time A-League champion with Sydney FC as well, with 2016 and 2017, along too with 2018 and 19, spent some time there. And Calver, speak of the devil, manages to deliver a beautiful cross to Engelhardt, who kicked it straight off the back of Nikolaidis. Or I should say Petratos, actually, instead. Petratos going back this time to Nikolaidis. And that pass was quickly denied and straight into the footwork of Christopher Engelhardt. Big weekend of football here this weekend. Obviously the two games that happened last night. Churchill Reserve, a 3-1 victory for the Oakley Cannons, and how can we not forget about that grand final rematch that happened at Olympic Village between Heidelberg United and Dandenong City. Dandenong City getting that 2-1 victory against Heidelberg United, so getting some revenge after the Senol NPLM Victorian Grand Final. Obviously Hume City right now in Bentleigh greens. A little bit later on at Avenger Park, Avondale take on Green Gully. That'll be another matchup to really watch out for. Avondale on the verge of having 3 back-to-back losses. Caroline Springs, George Cross, the Georgies take on Dandenong Thunder. Might hold on to that. Godfrey Debelay, who's almost in space, didn't really have a chance at taking a real shot on goal. O'Kane threads it out wide to Engelhardt. Engelhardt just on the cusp of the box, threading his way out. Instead going to try and have a little bit of a heel flick. Kirdar managed to work it in, and the header from Adusubeyu was good, but just a little bit off time there with that header from the pass from Birkan Kirdar, but a really good sequence of play there from Hume City, and that opportunity goes begging. So as I mentioned, obviously Caroline Springs, George Cross taking on Dandenong Thunder. That game's at 6 p.m. at Decker Park. And then, of course, the last game here this evening, Altona Magic taking on South Melbourne. That'll be at 6:15 p.m. at Paisley Park. And then, of course, tomorrow, Melbourne City take on the Preston Lions at Casey Fields. That'll be another eagerly anticipated clash. Preston now back on level points after their 6-point deduction. So good to see them scoring points. Obviously the hottest team in the competition. Newly appointed Zoran Markovski as coach, doing a really good job as coach. But our attention's here at Nassau Stadium. Both these teams really playing a defensive brand of football at the moment. No one really getting a good shot on goal. Spink threads it out to Kador, who's in space. Kador, who had a really good game last week against South Melbourne. Godfrey and Kamara. That's a matchup to really watch out for. Kamara, he doesn't give up no matter who that number 9 position is, whether it might be Bull Jawach of last year, who's obviously now part of the Canadian Pro League, and obviously Manny Agwek, who was lucky to work with last year being on the same team. Kaliu Kamara, really watch out for him. He quite is some defender. Him and Jamal Ali, really good quality defenders in the Senol NPL Victorian competition, along too with many others. They're just a couple to really keep your eyes out for. They never really disappoint. We have a Hume City throw-in directly in front of their bench. A little bit of wind that's picked up here as well in Broadmeadows. Might that play a factor? We'll have to wait and see as this game does roll on. Christopher Oldfield. He's actually from Liverpool, United Kingdom, a former A-League champion as well with Sydney FC. He was also a teammate with Aaron Calver, part of that 2016 and 17 championship squad. He's also a Welsh champion with Bangor City back in 2010 and 11. Got quite some age to him, but he's still relatively young, 35 years of age. Boy, is he looking in quite some shape. Calver plays it along the deck. It's a beautiful ball. Engelhardt's in space. He's got options. Thought about threading it out wide to O'Kane, but didn't know wide, I should say, and the ball just ricocheting off the net post. And Hume City really just trying to create some openings here. Bentley really tight with their defense right now, really hard to pick apart. George Vatsakis, obviously more of a defensive-minded coach, prides himself in the defense and midfield, and boy, is it showing. Haven't conceded a goal yet this year. So we've got another corner coming up here. They've got 5 men in the box. Who's it going to be? Who's going to get the chance? Corners in. Bayou's in the back post. Bayou once again just managing to thread it out, but there's a whole bunch of traffic in that box. Couldn't quite create an opportunity was Aaron Calvo, who just had a body of green directly in front of him. Braden Spink almost gave up that ball to Maki Petratos. All the way in the back third once again. O'Kane. Hume City really need to try and open up Bentley here. They can't really result in going straight down centrally in the pitch. Bentley are just way too strong. Obviously, Kamara and Boffy, they both shut it down. Boldea as well. He's another good player that it's very hard to try and pass him. Kirdar receives the pass out wide. He's got Dario Boldea, speak of the devil, right on him. It was, I believe it was Engelhardt was managing to try and chase after that football and retain possession. Relos has the ball up in the air. It's brought down to the deck brilliantly by Hume City. It was Coyne. Now here is Hume City. Bayou after the pass from Steve White. Bayou going to thread it out to Engelhardt. Engelhardt, who's had majority of the possession on that right-hand flank position. Kirdar one-on-one with Boldea. Boldea is getting physical and manages to beat him physicality-wise. Nikolaidis plays it short to Petratos, but Petratos had nowhere to go. And it was Coyne managing to win it out into an open Birka Kirdar. What can he provide? Manages to play it around off to himself. Kirdar's going to cross it in towards the back post. No one was there. Tried to go off to Debele. And it's O'Kane managing to win that ball. Here's White in space. Going to go to his left. Bayou plays it back to O'Kane. O'Kane, who's had quite a lot of touches of the football here. Coyne tries to thread it out. Ball's again stopped. Bentley's defense just proving a little too strong. Too many bodies for Hume City to take a real good shot on goal. As I mentioned, George Vatsakis really priding himself on this defense, and you can see that Hume City are really stopped in their tracks. They have no other options. Bentley just parking himself directly in front of the goal. Really shutting down every option possible for Hume City. Hume really need to try and opt with a different type of tactical decision, because just at the moment, just taking shots on goal isn't really working for them. They're really stopping the football well, but they're just not creating enough chances for him. So we'll see if Nick Hegarty can speak it out with his crew and try and come up with a different strategy, because at the moment Bentley just really outclassing them right now. George Vatsakis really animated with his troops, especially with Maki Petratos. Good to see as well in the meantime that Dario Bodaya is okay. Walking off back over to the touchline area towards the substitution bench. So good to see he's all right. We'll get back to the action here as well. Obviously this contest, third place, sixth. Hume City third on the ladder. Hume City sixth. The way that the standings work, updated after last night. Oakley at the moment right on top. An extra goal compared to Heidelberg. Heidelberg slotting to second. Bentley's third. Melbourne City fourth. Caroline Springs George Cross in fifth. And then obviously Hume City in sixth at the moment. Good to see that the three newly promoted teams from the VPL 1 competition right up in the top six standings. If the season was to finish, they'd be playing finals football right now, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. Still have another 23 rounds of football still to be played, so anything can change, especially once teams really start building a lot more chemistry and finding and feeling each other out. Debele threading it out to Engelhardt, who's going to go back to Coyne. Coyne going to try and cut it forwards. It's Adusu Bayou who might have a shot here, who's brought down inside the box, and our referee doesn't see it as a penalty. And a very, very animated Hume City bench here. However, the referee doesn't see it as a penalty. It was a beautiful cross, though. A beautiful ball in from Coyne, managing to find Adusubayu charging forwards. It was an almost guaranteed shot for Adusubayu if he could try and balance himself up, but it was brought down to the decking, and our referee doesn't see it as a penalty. There wasn't really any hold there. So, a good look, however, though, nevertheless, for Hume City. What can Bentley do here? Can they try and do a bit of a counter-attack? Petratos brought down from Spink. Spink, who was quickly stopped in his tracks by Relos and Petratos. They're going to go all the way back now to Aaron Calva, who's going to now switch it out wide to Coyne. So a good sequence of play there for Hume City. Adusubayu, who was pretty much waiting for that opportunity. It was going to come at some point, but he just had to be a little bit more patient. Kador threads it out. Nice through ball to Bayu, who tried to cut it forwards. He had Kirda in his sights, but instead it wasn't meant to be. Anthony Lynn wasn't really held there, even though he was trying to get a foul there. But instead falls straight back into possession for Hume. Hume would love to try and get one back after they were knocked out of the finals at the end of last year. They just managed to drop a couple points towards the back end of the season. And as a result, it was Dandenong City that managed to take that 6th place and managed to invite their way into the Senol NPL final series. It's one thing that they would have been fuming, because it was Dandenong City that was 6th who ended up all the way in the grand final. Possibly could have been them. Engelhardt out wide on that right-hand flank position. Thought about going, instead he stopped right in his tracks. Goes out to O'Kane. O'Kane thought about the shot, fakes it, goes to his left, and only just goes past the sidebar. Joshua O'Kane. Boy, oh boy. He's getting etchy here. And almost a guaranteed shot might be coming close. They're really building on here, Hume. Let's see if they can try and continue this good little run that they've had over the past couple minutes or so. They're really doing a good job of creating some opportunities, but they're just not quite putting the finishing touches well enough, as Michael Boffey held it a little too long. Invited Debelay to really push up forwards. Debelay, once again, who's well out of his traditional position that he plays directly in front. Engelhardt tried to take a shot, go straight into the backside of Kageyama. Kageyama, boy, did he have some game last week against Avondale. Created so many opportunities. What can he produce here today? Luca Resti threads it out. And the pass once again just mistimed, and that's really the theme here so far for Bentley so far in this first half, has been the passes just haven't really been on point and on target. A little bit mistimed, but then again, this is one of the challenges that all teams face when coming here to Nassau Stadium. Is it really is a wide pitch here. The sheer size of it, as you can see, really does overwhelm you. There's quite some space between the substitutions bench along too with the pitch, so a really big size comparison compared to most other pitches. Hume City, they really do pride themselves on having a good home record. Last year they had 7 wins at home. The previous year before they only had the 6, so they managed to one up their wins last year at home compared to 2024. The only losses that they had the 1-all draw against South Melbourne last year. They had a round 9 3-0 loss against the Oakley Cannons, a 1-0 loss in round 14 against Preston. They had a 1-0 loss as well in round 19 a couple rounds later against Heidelberg. And then 2 rounds after that, a round 21 2-1 loss against Avondale. And possibly the one that they really would have been kicking themselves, because I think the round 25 2-1 loss against Melbourne Victory was one that could have been very much avoidable. There was a whole bunch of water that was coming down here. Conditions weren't ideal. Remember, I was on the call for that one. Some of the Hume City maintenance officials were trying to really distribute the pitch, or should I say distribute the water off the pitch centrally, because there was so much water holding on the pitch that The ball was really slowed down. Kador managing to win the football. He's just cutting it centrally. Kirdar threading it out to Coyne. Coyne is in a whole bunch of space. He's going to progress the ball forwards here. Could this be a chance here for Hume? Tries to tip it up. Bentleigh gets up and tries to get the header. And another sequence of play there for Hume. Really good setup, but just to finish again. The header wasn't really strong enough from Bentleigh. Went straight in the zone for Brendan White. Didn't really have to work for it. Let's see if Hume can try and attack once again. Kirdar managing to send it out wide for Engelhardt, who was quickly stopped in his tracks. Kegiyama, the halfway position, calling for Relos to come a little bit closer. They work their way back out to Baldea. They're just trying to create a little bit more of an opening from Hume City. Hume have also crowded centrally in the middle of the park. They're not allowing any options, and it's Anthony Lynn who's trying to break away from Braden Spink, but he was held there and didn't really break free quickly enough to try and tip it away to Dimitri Relos. He's okay. White managing to thread it out once again to Engelhardt. Boys, he had so much possession of the football here. They're really electing to go down their right-hand flank position. Switching it out now. The pass from O'Kane to Bayou. Bayou centrally tried to nutmeg him through and get a little bit of a shot on goal. Back in for Bentleigh. And once again, they're just mistiming their passes here, Hume. They're building it up well, but it's just that last setup and the finishing touch isn't really clicking for him at the moment. So Hume City once again, they will throw it in. And I think it might be Bentley instead that's going to have the football, and it is. Pass is intercepted. This might be a chance here. Engelhardt, who's quickly stopped in his tracks by Oresti. And Oresti's been given the first yellow card of the game. Oresti, I mean, he didn't really have an option because it was going to be an almost certain chance for Hume City to try and attack and possibly net one. That was possibly Hume City's best chance at trying to get a goal here in this one, because both teams are playing really, really defensive. Not much options here between the two. I have our second free kick here for Hume City. They haven't really had too much of them. Let's see if they can take and capitalize on this one. It's a relatively good position for them, about 5 or so meters away from the box. Could it be an opportunity? Kirdar, the elector of the free kick, and that ball once again is quickly intercepted. Bentley Greens are just really, really strong defensively, giving Hume City a really big headache right now, and Anthony Lynn. George Vatsakis really, really animated there. He thought it was a good tackle, but referee saw it otherwise, and Hume City once again with a free kick, and they're going to look to elect quickly. Engelhardt towards the back post. Could it be a chance? Kamara keeping it away from the goal and managing to kick it all the way back. George Vatsakis once again getting animated again. He's not too happy, but Hume City, they're building up a good play here. And once again, it will be their ball again, as it was Kageyama just having a bit of contact with Birkan Kirdar. Boy, oh boy, is George Vatsakis animated down here on the bench. Obviously, you can see what it means to him because he's quite the respected coach here. White tried to go to Bentleigh. Ball's towards the back. Bayou didn't really have enough time to get there. It was only inches away from the touchline. And this could be a good chance here. Oresti is on that left-hand flank position, waiting for Spink. Tries to cut it back in. And once again, another missed opportunity for Bentley. Both of these teams, they've got chances, but they're just losing it. Bentleigh, it might be offside, and it isn't. He's just waiting. He's got Boffy on for company. Thought about going to his right, tried to get it through his legs. And we are going to have another corner from that far post position. Both teams really struggling to create opportunities and really put the finishing touches here because they're just playing really, really strong defensively from both of them. You just have the feeling that this game might be one where whoever manages to net the first goal, that might be the only goal we might see. Beautiful pass from Kirdar and a shot from well outside the box. Not really there to go for Josh O'Kane. Another missed opportunity there for Hume City. Just goes begging. Correction. It was Steve White. White to give it a boot forwards. Spink managing to win that header. Instead it was Boldea. He's there just in the nick of time. Relos faked it to his left. Instead going to be still out here in this right-hand flank position. Petratos still has it inside the box. Instead trips over the football. Not ideal from Maki Petratos. Maybe under a little bit of pressure after his stunning performance last week. Maybe the pressure might be getting to him. He's probably feeling that he probably needs to one-up his performance from last week. But instead Coyne, who's progressing up with the football well. Bentleigh on that right-hand flank position, tried to thread it out. He had Engelhard and Bayou inside the box. And instead it will be Hume City's football. And a throw-in for them again. So this half, it's been a half that there's been quite a few opportunities, but neither team have really been managing to take them. Balls towards the back post. Bayou might have a chance here. And it was a handball indeed, and it will be Bentley Green's football. One player that Bentley still waiting to get back in their lineup, the acquisition of Mohamed Idara. Obviously managed to acquire him in the off-season transfer market. He's one player that still needs to work his way on the bench and actually into the playing starting lineup. He's one player that I'm really looking forward to seeing. One of the key players for Heidelberg last year. Let's see what impact he can make in the Bentley Greens outfit. Bentleigh managing to win. He's going to take that shot from outside the box, and once again going into Brendan White's hands. Brendan White, he's had his work cut out for him because, well, Hume City, they're taking an abundance of attacks, but none really are sticking, and he's just there managing to just capture the football and managing to grab it. Ball goes long for Anthony Lynn, who's one-on-one with Calva, manages to retain the possession. Beautiful touch. He's still got the football. Calva was trying to break the ball free, and the ball going over the touchline, and still the ball is with Bentley. Bentley have really been dominated in this game by Hume City so far. Hume have had a whole abundance of attacking opportunities, but they haven't really had a chance to really have any good looks. Kagiyama. And was quickly stopped in his tracks by Godfrey Debele, who came out of literal nowhere, managed to kick that one straight back to Godfrey Debele. Sorry, back to Christopher Oldfield, I should say, in between the sticks.
Not too high, stand deeper so you can get beyond.
Slowly going to work our way towards halftime as well. What are both of these two teams going to do? How are they going to use their halftime? What changes are both Nick Hegarty and George Vatsakis going to make? Because at the moment, I mean, both Bentley's playing really good defensively. Hume building up and setting up the play well. Who's going to be the first to bite, though? Kagiyama out to Relos, who's going to play it back off to Scott Hillier, who's been relatively quiet so far. Scott Hillier, the captain. Shout out to his parents. They're watching from New Zealand. They were fortunate enough to have a chat with them last week at Kingston Heath. So a shout out to the Hillier family. Here's Kagiyama. Could this be a chance? Petratos tried to thread it out to Oresti, but didn't. Kirdar now in the center circle. It was White managing to thread it beautifully to Bayou. Could this be a chance? Threading it, cutting it back centrally. Bayou took a shot and it just came off the back of Scott Hillier's heel. And once again, just these attacking opportunities are mounting right now for Hume. They're not really using any to their advantage. Bentley, they feel overwhelmed with the amount of opportunities Hume are having, but Hume aren't, as I've mentioned, they aren't really capitalizing on any of them. It's definitely one of those games where nothing's really falling, even though you are creating really good looks. Relos managing to win it, and a free kick coming up here for the Bentley Greens, and Dimitri Relos came down, managing to win the free kick for his side. So far, this 41st encounter between these two sides is proving to be quite the heated one. Really, really neutral and even. However, it has been Hume City's half. Regardless of the scoreline, they've had all the attacking opportunities. There's once again another opportunity stopped in its tracks. Kamara recovering it well. Controlled down by Nikolaidis. Oresti with the header, tried to go off to Lynn. And it's Baldea copping a boot straight to the head by Steve White. Hopefully Dario Baldea is all right. Copped a massive boot from Steve White. Mario Baldea, the Romanian. Played in a couple Romanian leagues. Played for CSM Unirea Alba Lulia in 2024. Played 3 games for them in the Romanian Cup. Now part of the Bentley Greens organisation. Played in all 2 games so far in the first 2 opening games. He's a player to really watch out for as well once the game does get going, because he did really pick up his rhythm. Kagiyama with a free kick. Tries to go forwards, and it's Oldfield once again managing to grab the football and bringing it down to the deck. So our 4th official just getting ready to bring us up with some added time here soon. Aren't too far away from additional time being added here. We'll get you the official confirmation once our 4th official does bring up the board. And it is 1 minute of additional time that our 4th official is signalling that he'll make official in about a couple seconds or so. And there is the official confirmation of that 1 minute of added time. Cador, who's just gotten a little bit cold over the past 10 or so minutes, hasn't really had too much of the football. The ball's really switched up for Hume City. They've really gone on that right-hand flank position for most of their attack. Bentley have really adapted to it well. Hillier going down the line. And it was Anthony Lynn just losing it. Could this be one last chance here for the Bentley Greens? In a half that they've really been outclassed here. Even though defensively they've been really sound, they just haven't had too much of the possession. They've been really outsmarted and outclassed as Godfrey Debelay cops a massive falcon to the face. And that will be half-time here at Nassau Stadium. Really close contest. It was Hume City that had their fingerprints all over that first half. Bentley Greens really holding up strong defensively, but Hume City just proving to be that beneficiary here in that first half. And as we go into this halftime, what are both George Vatsakis and Nick Hegarty going to say in the change rooms? Vatsakis really animated on the bench in front of us. Nick Hegarty a little bit more contained. As we go into halftime here at Nassau Stadium, stay with us, because if I was you, things might get a little bit more heated up in the second half. Don't go anywhere. Grab a beer or a drink or something. Get back in front of your TV, because it will be something. Halftime here at Nassau Stadium. It is Hume City 0, Bentley Greens 0. Why is that? Me? I'm good, you? Thank you, I appreciate it. I'll come on down. Did I see you last week? I didn't know. That's right, yes, I completely forgot.
Karısı kendi sonunda kadar gelmiyor. Karı çünkü. Adamların yüzü geliyor. Ben düşün. O değil. Senin adamın yaşını ne gitsin? Nuri görüyor musun? Görüyorum amına koyayım. Adam seni çok seviyor. Benim namusum. Ya şuradan kafa çıkıyor ya. Anamı siksinler bak. Ah yalan vuruyor. Anam şimdi kafa şuradan çıkıyor. Durunca. Ondan sonra yalan vuruyor. Neyse yaptığı şeyi ya. Yakalım. Amına koyayım. Sevgisiyle bak. Hani tanıdık mı?
Testing.
Bak benim oğluma inanır mı? Bak aynaya bak. Sen diyeyim, madem bu da yapar, bilmem ne diyeyim, tamam mı? Bu şekilde de söylerim. Ama ona yakışır, tamam mı? Babama yakıştırırım, onu yapayım, şöyle söyleyeyim. Ya bu atırsız ya. Amin ol, ver sana söyleyeyim. Şeyler, saklanmaca, dağınıyor. Sana. Ben buna kim örnek vereyim? Örnek vereceğim yok ya. Yok ama. Hani bu, insanlar şeyler oluyor, şeyler gösteriyor ya. Maymun da daha sonra değişiyor, evini değiştiriyor ya maymundan sonra. İnsan dönmesi. Onun hayvan gibisi. Ya onun da bir adabı var. Şimdi tam bak. Abi şimdi Türkçe yapmıyor. Yani adam kaymak gibi adam. Allah adam bu ülkeler var. Geçen ben bir tane
Welcome back, everybody, to Naciol Stadium. Hume City playing hosts to Bentley Greens, 0-0 at the half. What can both of these teams do to try and exploit one another? Who's going to get the first goal? George Vatsakis, Nick Hegarty, both had a little bit of a talking out. Let's see who can get the first one. We're lucky enough to be joined by a player here in the first bit of this second half, shall we say. Would you like to introduce yourself, my friend?
Hello, it is Zahiadis, 22-year-old fullback for Hume City, and I'll just be joining in for 5 to 10 minutes and tapping into the game.
It's a pleasure to have you here, Zahi. Obviously, this is the first time that we're having something like this happen, so always a pleasure to try and actually get a footballer of your magnitude, of this magnitude of the Senol NPL Victorian kind of league playing. Obviously, Hume City player you are. What have you thought of your boys' performance so far in that first half?
Yeah, look, we've dominated the game, obviously. Probably haven't been as clinical as we would have liked with chances in the final third, but we have had a lot of the ball, and hopefully we can create more in the second.
We're just going to have two substitutions. So Resti will be subbed on for Jawad Rezai, and then the other one is Patrick Hogan will be coming on as well, replacing the man in Dimitri Relos. So two substitutions for Bentley Greens to start off this second half. What about your boys? You boys got a couple substitutions getting ready to come on for the second half. What do you boys need to do to try and really get some scores and try and ease yourself in? I mean, obviously it was a dominant first half from you boys, but what's not clicking so far at the moment?
Yeah, look, as I said, probably in the final third. We've had the ball in good areas, and maybe, look, we'll see Bingers come on and give us more of an aerial threat. And not to say that Goddard isn't providing much. He obviously is good in behind, and we probably need to do more to exploit that as a team as well.
Obviously, you boys, you came off a good win last week against South Melbourne, which was very impressive. What is something that you guys have took from that game against South Melbourne last week, which is very, very impressive, by the way? I think that was your first win in 7 years as well, which was good as well, good little drought. What is something that you guys have taken away from that game into this one here today?
Yeah, it was obviously a massive win for us as a team, historically as well. Haven't beaten them in a while, but probably the main component out of that game was the fight, the desire compared to round one. We showed a lot as a team, and we got the first goal and managed to take our chances, get the second one, and then defended well in the second half. So, yeah, obviously just a bit of fight and togetherness within the team got us over the line.
Obviously, you guys this year, a little bit of a different playing group this time, obviously losing Lloyd Isgrove and Michael Weir as well. How's that impacted the team going into this year?
Yeah, look, they're big names in the NPL. We've had a lot of changes over the off season. I think I'm one of 5 boys to stay on for this season, so a lot of change. But in saying that, it's been positive. I think we've had a few older, more experienced heads, Calva, Oldfield coming in, and we've got a young group of lads as well who are hungry and want to prove themselves at this league.
So we got a yellow card as well in this. The first yellow card of this second half, we had going for Bentley. I'm not sure, did you manage to capture who that was, Zahi?
I think it was Godfrey Dembele, who's gone down. I'm not sure who was at fault for that, but he seems to be all right, just getting up now.
So we'll see. Obviously, free kick here, the first one to start off this second half. A good opportunity here. Who do you reckon is more the taker of this free kick here, from your point of view?
I think this will be Kerdar. He fancies himself in these positions, and yeah, I think he could possibly do something. If not, maybe Steve White with a ball across the box and look for a bit of tall timber in the middle here.
Well, let's have a look. Obviously, Birkan Kirdar going to be one player to watch out for, as he had such a big piece and a big involvement in that first half as to why Hume City was really, really aggressive. Quite the beneficiary in that first half. This could be a real big blow here to start off, and Steve White taking that one and just soaring over the back fence over there, and another missed opportunity here. What did you think of that one? Kirdar or White? What did you think?
No, that's Whitey for the season. That's him.
What did you think? Probably didn't get the best of touches on that one?
No, not clinical from him. He'll struggle to get back on the free kicks after that.
Oh, that's funny. Obviously, you unfortunately you're out with an injury at the moment right now. What's the recovery time for you? How's the recovery process been as well?
Yeah, look, it's been tough, to be honest. I was playing internationally after last season finished and picked up the injury there and kind of played through it for 1 or 2 months, and then have suffered the repercussions of that coming into this season. So it's been about 2 months now, and I'm hoping to get back on the pitch in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
So far, thought it was going to be a good opportunity there for Bentley to try and push up. Your boys as well, obviously this year, a different team as well. Nick is obviously back in charge. How's it been so far being under him? Obviously, being with him, how's it been like just overall, understanding the way that his football mind works compared to previous? We might actually hold on to that, as we might have a good opportunity here, possibly the realest one of the game. And Godfrey's brought down again, and a yellow card being awarded to Michael Boffey. Good little contest there, but Godfrey Debelay, boy, when he gets in front of the football, doesn't he? He's dangerous, isn't he?
It's tough. You have to bring him down. As a defender, you have to bring him down.
We'll hold on to that question that I asked you about Nick Hegarty in a second, because your Bob, they might be in for a good opportunity here. All that they need pretty much in a scenario like this is one, and it will be this time Birkan Kirdar to take this one. They've got the likes of Godfrey Debelay. Bayou's calling for it as well. He's more towards the back of the box area. Let's see what can be made of this one. It's a good-looking chance. And another one goes banging for him. But back to the question that I just asked you about Nick Hegarty. What's it been like being under kind of instruction from him?
Yeah, look, we as a playing group, we all respect Heggs a lot. And it's taken some time for us to come to terms with the way in which he wants to play. But you see it building week in, week out. It's about following a process. And I think as a playing group, we've done that and we're improving week by week. So, yeah, it's been good under Heggs. It's been really good.
Obviously, you boys, you're training out here. This is probably one of the colder areas to train in Melbourne. How's it been like so far on some of those freezy, chilly mornings?
As soon as winter comes round, this is the windiest, coldest place on earth.
We've already seen quite a lot of that when you guys obviously play host to some Australia Cup games here. Obviously, most notable, the one where you guys played FC Melbourne, Serbia 2 years ago here in the round of 16. How bad was that win, by the way? That was brutal, if you remember that day.
Yeah, as soon as winter comes, the wind picks up, and it actually has quite an impact on the football as well. Just the game changes, the dynamic changes of the game.
This could be a chance here. Kirdar, who's one-on-one with Bentleigh, tries to cross it towards the back post, and it was Braden Spink once again. They're involved. Obviously, one player that has gone down over the last week or so, Taylor Shrivers. How's he doing so far, and what's he? I'm not sure if you can give too much away, but what's he kind of suffering with at the moment?
Yeah, look, well, he's just back after about 17 months out with an ACL from 2024. So round one was his first competitive minutes since then, and I think he just pulled up slightly sore in the hamstring, which I don't think is too serious of an issue, but has obviously kept him out for a couple of weeks.
Hopefully he's all right, and we can hopefully see him back. Kirdar takes the corner towards the back post. Bayou was there. Godfrey Debelay is going to try and fight for it as well. This could be a chance here. Patrick Hogan keeping it alive for Bentley. All they need is one real opportunity. Tries to go to his right centrally. Instead goes all the way around Coyne. What can Bentley try and provide here? It was a good little looking kick from Reza. Tried to really nail it to Maki Petratos. Lynn just going to work it all the way back out to the captain, Scott Hillier, who's in space. Thought about going for the cross. Managed to fake out Bayou. Now Kamara's in space. Kagiyama going to his left. Works it once again off to Hogan. They're working it to one another. Could this be a chance? Petratos, who's in a sea of red, and that chance goes begging once again. However, really good defensive display here from Hume. Debelay's in space. Now on this right-hand near flank position. Going to his left. Thought about going to his right. On the left foot. Threads it through the legs of Michael Boffey. And how about that sequence of play from your boys, eh?
Yeah, Dembele's dangerous on the counter, especially in that transition. It was a good ball from Bayou and could have made more of that.
What have you thought of Bayou, one of the new inclusions, being part in this squad? Obviously, former Preston Lions player and former West United player as well. How's his addition been in the playing group as well?
Yeah, look, he's got A-League experience. He's played at some big clubs, and you can tell he's sharp in the pocket and good around those areas.
That was a really close opportunity there from Birkan Kirdar from well beyond range. He's still looking for his first goal of the season. That one would have been one to really open up your scoring account. Hume City still have it. Ball's crossed in. Bentleigh, who's one-on-one with Michael Boffey, trying to fight him off, not allow him to get one touch of the football. Once he does, that ball's going to be cleared out. Once again, good, strong contest there. And it was Patrick Hogan managed to kick it out just in the nick of time. Petratos. He was sensational last week. Let's see what he can try and produce this time out. Manages to clear his way into clear space and tried to get the ball going forwards for Anthony Lynn. And another little mix-up. But your boys so far, they're holding up here well so far, and they're really trying to create a couple good opportunities here in the early stage of this one.
Yeah, you can tell the intensity's lifted in the game overall. Burks with a big chance there, and hopefully push on and get this first one.
The Bentley Greens now, this is their chance. Dion Nicolidis, another player that had a big impact on that 2-0 victory against Avondale last week, playing in that left fullback position. So far, hasn't really been too aggressive, but we'll see if he can really try and make more of an inroad this time out. Still Bentley Greens' football here. Scott Hilly has been called a little bit closer, and I believe we might be getting a long throw. What do you reckon?
The trend continues. It's taken over football, the long throw.
It has. What, you reckon Maxi Mikkel has played a little bit of a part in that?
Oh, too much of a part, I think.
Let's see what this long throw can provide. Obviously, as Zahi mentioned, it's taking over football here. The long throw from Hillier just falls towards the front post. It was Nicolidis managing to get the last touch. Petratos trying to keep the football alive here for Bentley in their attacking third. Petratos with the cross in. Lynn tried to rise up. Ball went over him towards the back post. And this time it's Kirda. And that one just works its way out all the way into the direction of Bayou, who's also keeping it alive. And Bayou just outnumbered here. I think we might slowly be kind of verging ever so closely to a possible draw scenario here. What do you reckon?
Yeah, the game's getting a bit more stretched now. I think both teams are creating a little bit more, so there's probably more chance of a goal coming in this half than there was in the first. But yes, both teams will be wary not to concede as well.
Obviously, you boys next week, you take on Green Gully, which should be quite a matchup as well. How do you guys obviously approach that one? They play a little bit later. Actually, they're playing right now against Avondale, and obviously they ended up losing 2-0 last week to Caroline Springs George Cross. How do you guys approach that one after this game?
Yeah, look, we're just taking one game at a time at the moment. Every game is massive, especially in the opening rounds of the season. You want to try take advantage and climb up the ladder in those early weeks. So, yeah, it's game by game, but, yeah, looking forward to that, and hopefully the boys can get the 3 points.
As this season does progress, I'll give you one more question before we let you go. Who are some players to really watch out for in your squad that are really going to develop as you guys do build a little bit more chemistry? Who are some players to really watch out for?
Yeah, look, there's definitely quite a few on the younger side as well. I think Josh O'Kane in midfield is like a special player, young player of his age, and solidified a spot in the starting 11 for this season, and I think he'll push on. We've also got Chris Engler as well on the right wing, who's very sharp and has international experience. So yeah, he'll be another one to look out for.
Perfect. Zahi Addis, pleasure as always. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for that, mate.
Thank you very much. Zahi Addis there, the left back, 22-year-old, one of the rising youngsters in the Senol NPL Victorian competition. Really keep your eyes out from him. We wish him all the very best for his recovery. I'm sure he'll definitely be one to watch out for here. Godfrey Deverlake, one-on-one with Boffey, who's really proving to be quite something in that back third for Bentley. Kirda thought about it, but instead really couldn't quite get any shot on. Coyne managing to work it from switching it. Cador, who's on the cusp of the box, tries to take a shot. Only going past that right-hand post. Coda Cador. Really, really close play there. And we're going to have a corner coming up here for Hume City, this time on the near side. Let's see what Hume City can provide here. Obviously, they've had their foot to the floor ever since that first half started. They really found their groove, and at the moment they're really outclassing Bentley. This is really their game. Obviously their pitch at the moment here, the width is really, really suiting them. Corner elects to go short to Birkan Kirda. He's going to thread it out. White tried to go forwards. Instead it was Kamara going and headering it straight into the feet of Steve White, and that ball going over the touchline. So another chance going begging here. Just one of those classic performances where they're really building it up. It's just that defense is just holding up really, really strongly from Bentley. And George Vatsakis, as I've already mentioned, really proving himself to be that defensive coach. And it's that good old saying, defense wins you championships, but you really do have to score at the end of the day because you can't go scoreless in games like this. This is proving to be one of those games where it's a little bit scrappy from Bentley's end. They're not really connecting with too many passes, and they're just being outclassed and outbeaten, kind of similar to what happened with them with Avondale last week, where they really outsmarted and outclassed and just outdid Avondale in every area of the ground last week. So far, that's proving to be the same case, but in Hume City's favour this time. In the meantime as well, in the last 19 minutes or so, the match has started at Avenger Park between Avondale and Green Gully. We'll give you updates as that game does commence. Obviously, still a couple games still to go here today. We got good couple games. Caroline Springs, George Cross, and Dandenong Thunder taking place at Decker Park at George Cross's ground. So that'll be another interesting game to watch out for. Obviously, Dandenong Thunder suffering their first home loss last week to Heidelberg United, 1-0. Let's see what can be done here, though. However, things might be going well here for Hume City, as it was a good, strong chance there, but once again denied there by Engelhart. And Adisu Bayou, they were connecting, but they couldn't quite manage to put the finishing touches on it again. Kamara's presence in that back third is really proving to be strong. Really, really outnumbered. And Nick Hegarty, really adamant. That entire Hume City coaching staff just really adamant for somewhat of a call there. And one other game taking place tonight. 15 minutes after Caroline Springs, George Cross and Dandy Thunder is kicked off at 6 p.m. at Paisley Park. It is Altona Magic and South Melbourne. Another interesting matchup, obviously South Melbourne. Double duty with the IFC Pro League, so going to be running a backup team, their B team, which is still really strong, obviously running more of an under-23s lineup, so really keep your eyes out for them. Can Altona get 3 points on the board? That'll be a big win for them. Obviously, South Melbourne, as I mentioned, they aren't really going to prioritise the NPL, the Senol NPL Victorian competition. However, when they do have their main boys back, they definitely will be on the charge. They're not always going to be on OFC Pro League duty, so keep your eyes out for them. Cador tried to thread it off to Bayou, and instead Scott Hillier, the captain, managing to keep that ball and get it back into the possession for Bentley. Boldea all the way back off to Michael Boffey. Here's Dion Nicolidis. Strong performance, especially last week. This week, held his own really, really well in that first half, not allowing Hume City to really exploit and control them. Hogan on this near side, working his way centrally slowly. Tried to get it off to Petratos. And it was Aaron Calver instead managing to keep the football away from him. And we are going to get a football kick here for Christopher Oldfield. The ball once again going over the touchline. George Vatsakis really, really animated on the bench. He has been all game pretty much. He's not happy whatsoever with his squad, with the way that they're performing. Bit of a letdown for him after the great performance that they had last week. However, the heart's still beating for Bentley, so never say never. Especially if you're Bentley Greens. Obviously, they were promoted here into the Senol NPL Victorian Football League for a reason. One of the strongest teams in the league. Debele received the pass beautifully and once again given away. So Hume City, again, their story of the game here is they're just setting it up well. They're dominating the possession, but they're just outclassed by that back third of Bentley. Bentley not really giving in at all. You just know that whoever scores one goal is going to go on to pretty much park the bus, try and move to maybe putting 5 men in the back third, possibly really not allow the opposing team to try and attack. Somewhat of a Johnny Anastasiadis type approach, really change up the formations and exploit you in ways that you never thought. Kirda with the corner towards the back post, and it's in! That man, Adusubayu! How about it? His second goal in the red and white, and it comes at a big point. Adusubayu, the former Preston Lion and Western United man, making his moment count. 2 games, 2 goals. Take a bow, Adusubayu. That one doesn't come any bigger. And really putting Bentley on the real back foot there. Adusubayu, take a bow, my friend. A former Australian under-23s international player, former Green Gully player I should mention as well. Doesn't get any bigger than that for him. Part of the Preston Lions outfit last year for the Australian Championship. That is a big-time performance there from a big-time player. Adusubayu doesn't get any bigger than that for him. And he is the man at the moment for Hume. And Hume City rejoice. Hume go up 1-0 here at home. And that might possibly be the dagger in the heart that we might be seeing, unless, of course, maybe Bentley might have a secret weapon up their sleeve. We'll have to wait and find out. There's a bit of a collision there. Keiji Kageyama, he's down. Going to have a substitution getting ready to come on. Anthony Frangi is getting ready directly in front of us. He's having a talking with George Vatsakis. Nikolaidis cutting it in centrally. Could they try and get one back quickly to really stop the momentum of Hume? Hume definitely have the adrenaline running through their veins at the moment. This will be something that they'll really try and build upon, especially if they can try and keep the pressure here. Petratos now in open space on that right-hand flank position. Cuts it towards the byline. Could this be a chance? Oldfield's out of position, and it was a chance there that went begging. And another missed opportunity. That time it was Jord Rezai. Tried to get it and really knock it out. Christopher Oldfield, who was out of position. They had a chance, but too many bodies in front for that Hume City back third. And a chance goes begging for Bentley Greens. An almost imminent goal was lurking. And this could be a second one coming here for Hume. Brendan White was well outside of his box. Hume City's bench has completely gone up in erupt and dismay. And we do have a penalty coming. A set piece and a penalty from the spot for Hume. They were crying for it and begging for it, and a red card. A red card for Brendan White. Our referee has given a yellow card. It won't be a penalty, my correction. And it will be. It's a red card for Brendan White. So as we get out everything organised and everything, that was something. Ahmed Taleb, he's getting his gloves ready. Drama here at Nassau Stadium that's unfolding. So my correction, it won't be a penalty, but it will be a set piece. And it will be in the semicircle just outside the box. So we're getting a correction here. Ahmed Taleb, he's put on his gloves. He's getting ready to come back in for this one. Just trying to get the official kind of confirmation here, because even the staff here are confused as to what's going on. The Bentley Green staff is confused. Ahmed Taleb's ready to go. Christopher Oldfield is in between the sticks right now. The Bentley Greens outfit are saying that it was a header. Hume City say otherwise. We're just a little bit of controversy that's going on here. We're just trying to wait and see what the official verdict will be from our referee. This could make severe implications on this game. George Vatsakis extremely animated. Just trying to get the official confirmation here. Drama here at Nassau Stadium. Let's not let it try and distract us from what's been a really dazzling display from Hume City here. Just outclassing them in every bit of the football game. So I think the official confirmation is there's no real understanding it who might actually have to be sent off here. We're waiting. Ahmed Taleb has taken his gloves off, so not exactly sure if he's ready to go or not.
He sent the goalkeeper off. No, you're 22 off. No, originally he sent the keeper off. Your 22 is off now.
I think there might be a correction here as who might be off. George Vatsakis just trying to clear up the confusion here as to who was off. Nevertheless, though, we do have ourselves a free kick just about a metre outside the box in that semicircle, I should say. This could be another opportunity here for Hume to put two on the trot after what's been a really dominant display from them. A game that they've pretty much been in control of from the get-go to now. And we do have a confirmation here, so no one's really going to be taken off at the moment. We're going to have to wait for the official confirmation. I think it might be Ahmed Taleb. He's got his gloves in hand. So, not exactly sure. Again, we'll keep you updated if anything does go, but we have a chance here as Birka Kirda, ball rattling off the side post, off the woodwork. He's fuming with himself. That is two that he's gotten off the woodwork, off that left post. Birka Kirda, what a game he's having here so far this afternoon. Really keep your eyes out for him. The more that Birka Kirda gets involved, he's really going to get firing. We have a substitution getting ready for Bentley Greens. Anthony Frangi is standing by. He looks to be replacing, from what I can see on our fourth officials board, is Maki Petratos. We'll get the official confirmation for you when that fourth officials board does go up. A little bit of just drama unfolding here at Nassau Stadium as to what's already been a very heated contest between both these two teams. Very passionate sides as well. Bentley Greens from the southeast. Hume City up here in the northwestern suburbs. As Zahi Addis mentioned, this is possibly one of the coldest places on earth when it does get cold, as we've obviously seen on their Instagram channels. Here's Arasubayu threading it out to Kirda. Kirda cuts it back in. And it's Nikolaidis trying to keep the ball alive. He goes down to the deck as well with Birka Kirda. And we are going to get an official confirmation. Maki Petratos will be subbed off in replacement for Anthony Frangi. So there is the official confirmation. Anthony Frangi, former Melbourne Knights and Altona Magic player. Also spent some time playing for the Marconi Stallions in 2020 to 2021. So spent some time playing for Mount Druitt Town Rangers in the New South Wales NPL. And most notably as well playing last year for Altona Magic, where he played in 20 games and managed to net 7 goals as well. So a shout out and one player to watch out for, Anthony Frangi, who made the start in round 1 and last week and today has started on the bench. Made the start against the Georgies, Caroline Springs George Cross, only 2 weeks ago. Ball's crossed from the near side to far side, and Hume City just going to try and slow the tempo here, but you can see Bentley, they're just starting to press up a little bit here. they know that the way that they've played, they definitely deserve to be in this a lot more. 1-0 is the scoreline, however, though, and it's that man who scored the first one. And he might be on for a second. Dembele's inside the box. He's going to take it, and it just goes past the left post. Really, really promising stuff here from Hume City, who are really starting to find an opening within that back third of Bentley. Bentley just in all sorts at the moment. They had a really, really good game, but things have fallen out for them after that Adesubeyu goal. It was quite some goal it was. Frangie trying to make some impact right off the Bentley green sub. We do have a player down, and it was Braden Spink. So we got another substitution getting ready to come on. This one is Joshua Bingham getting ready. He made the start as well back in round one. This time round on the bench for the second consecutive time, and he will be replacing Godfrey Dembleigh right up front. So the number 9 position being traded. Josh Bingham coming on for Godfrey Dembleigh. Godfrey Dembleigh, that's his day done and dusted. He's had quite some performance, the former Gold Coast Knight, Godfrey Dembleigh. Joined Hume City last year, and he's getting a round of applause, rightfully so. Had a real big presence right up at the front. Now replaced by Josh Bingham, also from New South Wales. Began his career part of the Central Coast Mariners Academy in 2014. Spent 14 years with Central Coast Mariners. Part of the A-League as well. Had a couple of games, played 43 games for him, netted 4 goals. What kind of impact can he make right up at front? Adesubeyu working his way back around, gets it straight into the feet of Oldfield. And Oldfield, I should say Brendan White, has really been put under an enormous bit of pressure. Hume City, they've just had an abundance of attacking opportunities. Let's see if they can try and continue it. I'm sure one wouldn't be enough for them. They'd love to get a couple more. Should mention as well, Josh Bingham played for Eastbourne Borough in England, and then joining Hume City back in 2021. He's played a total of 68 games for him, this being his 69th. Closing in on 70. Kirda's corner, goes towards the front post. Could it be? Last time it was a goal that was converted. This time it's Bingham who's going to try and cross it in. Bayu was down. He's taken off his boot. He's trying to adjust it. Hopefully that's not his kicking foot. Let's hope that. Kirda working it back. Braden Spink. And Adesubeyu still hasn't put on his boot. Hopefully he can manage to put it on now. And the ball going over onto the car park, and it's hit one of the cars on the bonnet. Hopefully that car's all right. Hopefully that person's got insurance, because the last thing you want is a Mitre football mark on your bonnet. This half definitely producing the entertainment here at Nassau Stadium. And in the meantime as well, might I add, Avondale has scored their first goal this season, might I add, against Green Gully, scoring in the 33rd minute in that game. So they're leading 1-0 at Avenger Park. Kirda lets one go all the way from well beyond range there. A little bit too ambitious there for the number 10. Rest in peace as well to Halid Kirda, original member of the club, grandfather to Birkan Kirda as well, who tragically passed away last week on Sunday. So sending all our condolences here from the Football Victoria family to Birkan Kirda and his family. Birkan definitely doing his grandfather proud, that's for sure. Hume City, and the first offside of the game. Weird to say at this stage of the game. First offside of the game was called there for Hume City. And it was Christopher Engelhardt that was offside on that attempt. So next week, of course, as I mentioned with Zahi Addis, Hume City, they take on Green Gully, 7:30 p.m. next Friday night at Green Gully Reserve. Not too far away from here, about 25 minutes or so away from here. Should be another interesting one as well. If Green Gully are to go down, we might hold on to that. Rezai cutting it back towards the byline. And it's Engelhardt managing to recover it. Just going to kick that one all the way forwards. Bingham one-on-one with Nicolaides. It's young versus old. And it's Hume City's football. For the Bentley Greens, well, they take on South Melbourne next week, 7 p.m. on Saturday, the 7th of March, at the home of the Matildas. Obviously, next week, it's the Formula One Grand Prix. That'll be taking place at Albert Park, so Lakeside Stadium is closed for the next couple rounds until they can get the racetrack and all the bollards and scaffolding down. So Lakeside Stadium will be shut for a short period of time before they are back there eventually in the not-too-distant future. As Adesubayu lets one go from outside the box. He's got his kicking boots out now, that's for sure, Adesubayu, who's got a whole different amount of confidence after that goal that he scored. The next two games after Green Gully for Hume City, they take on Dandy Thunder on the 14th of March, 2 p.m. on a Saturday. That'll be here at Nassau Stadium. That's when their next game will be. As Patrick Hogan tries to cross it in, and that ball once again denied and sent out of here by Aaron Culver. And then in round 6 on Friday, the 20th of March at 7:45 p.m., they will take on Dandenong City at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. So facing the two Dandenong sides 1 week after each other. And then for Bentley, well, after South Melbourne next week, they face Altona Magic on the road at Paisley Park. Saturday, the 14th of March, kickoff at 6:15. And then the week after that, they will take on Green Gully Reserve. Sorry, they will take on Green Gully at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. The long throw goes short. That game for them, Friday, the 20th of March at 7:30. That'll be at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. That's when their next game at home will be. It's a little bit of a away road trip here of 3 games before they're back at home at Kingston Heath, back in the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne. Patrick Hogan is in space, tries to let one go, and it's Christopher Oldfield managing to make the save with the ball going along the deck. Ball goes down the line. Kamara one-on-one with Bingham. And it's Kamara, the winner of that one. Ball going straight back with Brendan White. Another substitution who's getting ready to come on as well for Hume City is Aiki Tsukamoto. He's getting ready to make his way into the lineup as well. We'll see what kind of impact he can have for Hume City. Just getting a little bit of a talking and wording with. Aiki Tsukamoto, I should say. We'll get the official confirmation when he does go on, who he will be replacing. We're just going to wait for a little bit of a halt in play. He looks to be replacing, from what I can see, Birkan Kirda. But we'll get the official confirmation for you when the fourth officials board does go up. Kegiyama, who's been quiet in this second half, not compared to the game that he had over the last 2 weeks, especially against Caroline Springs, George Cross, and last week against Avondale. He's really been shut down. Not able to play the game style that he'd like to play. Kamara with the cross forward to Kegiyama, who hits the side netting. And that chance would have been big for the Bentley Greens had that one gone. And the official confirmation, Birkan Kirda, that's his day done and dusted. Aiki Tsukamoto will be coming on. The former player from the Perth Glory Academy player, spent majority of his development there. Debuted for the NPL first team at 16 years old. Consistently played for him at 18 years old as well before breaking into the under-23 squad. He broke in at under-20... Sorry, I should say he broke in at the age of 20 years old. And then he also made consistent A-League match day squads on a several number of occasions. So he's one to watch out for. Keep your eyes out. Aiki Tsukamoto, most notably last year, played down in the VPL 1 competition for the Eastern Lions. Played in 26 games, managed to net 3 goals for his season, so he's quite the player. Aiki Tsukamoto, 21 years of age. Got a whole future ahead of him, so really keep your eyes out for him. The future of football, definitely in good hands. The youngster from Perth also comes from a Japanese background as well. We all know how good Japan can develop their football players. Kamara goes forwards. Hogan. Lynn tried to get the foot on it and tried to control it. Instead went all the way back out to Hogan. And here's Hogan once again. Receives the pass from Baldea. Hasn't really gotten anywhere. Frangi, former Altona Magic player, tries to play it along the ground. And these chances, they're just going begging here for Bentley. They're running out of time. And Dennis Menelau on the bench just got a little bit of a wording from George Vatsakis to say, get ready, we might need you on here. Cornering up here on that far post position. Dion Nikolaidis will be the taker. Let's see if Bentley can try and level play here at Naciol Stadium. Ball would they like to with the way that they've held. Balls towards the back post. Kamara was there along too with Anthony Frangi. Frangi with the cross back again towards the back post, but no one's there. Instead it was actually centrally in the box, might I add. Nikolaidis tries to cut it back, and once again another missed opportunity for Bentley. This game possibly not reflecting on the type of way that Bentley have played. Just being outclassed by Hume City, the newly promoted VPL 1 side, into the competition. Got more substitutions getting ready to check into this game as well for both of these sides. This is when all chaos might occur, so we'll see if we can try and get it all right for you. Patrick Hogan tried to go to his left and he was quickly stopped by Coyne. Kamara. Here's Adesubeu, the only goal scorer in this game, and he was quickly stopped in his tracks. And a yellow card being awarded to the captain, Scott Hillier. They've gotten a couple of them so far, the Bentley Greens, and that's not what they want. But they didn't really have any other options, because obviously Adesubeu, the moment he starts going up ahead of the football, the moment he's in front of the goal, anything can really change there. Such a dangerous player he is, Adesubeu. The crazy thing as well that you should know about Adesubeu is he's still relatively young as well, 24 years of age. Still a bright future ahead of him as well. So a couple substitutions getting ready to check in here, both for Bentley Greens and for Hume City. Will be Bentley Greens first. Dennis Menelau is a player that'll be getting ready to check in, along too with Brando Conte. Brando Conte will be coming on for Kaliu Kamara. To make that official, and Keiji Kujiyama, he'll be replaced by Dennis Menelau. So couple substitutions there. Those are the players' days done and dusted for Kaliu Kamara and Keiji Kagiyama. On will come Brando Conte along too with Dennis Menelau. Not hard to spot Dennis Menelau with that blonde hair that he has. Got quite the good look for him. And a couple substitutions getting ready for Hume City. Hume City, they've got a couple coming on. Jacob Adams will be coming on, replacing Christopher Engelhardt. It'll be also John Paikopoulos who will be replacing Adesubeu. And then the final substitution to confirm it will be Koda Kador, who will be replaced by Frank Busasa. So Frank Busasa coming on, replacing Koda Kador. So a couple substitutions here for both these sides as we slowly wind down to the completion of time here. Haven't got too long to go.
Daniel is still going. He's not there. Daniel!
Almost certain of some added time to come here as well.
He's going to run to where he fucking was.
Throw-in's good for Nikolaidis. There's Tsukamoto. Tries to thread it out. Busasa. Tsukamoto once again, and that ball going over the touchline.
Go central, Cal.
Yeah, Frenchie, let's go. Come on. We can get this.
Diagonal's the outlet.
Dennis, let's work you.
Diagonal's the outlet.
Where's the line, Cody?
Hume City bench just in despair after Josh Bingham was held. Ball's brought down. Spikopoulos managed to header it away. Here's Hogan. What can Hogan do here on this left-hand flank position? Boy, would Bentley love to really net one here in the late dying stages here. Baldea tries to cross it in. Menelau. And it was kicked away by Bosasa. Baldea once again switching it with the cross. Menelau's there. Ball's kicked right up in the air. Baldea again. He's just everywhere at the moment on this sequence of play here. Is Baldea. There was Brando Conte fighting for it last for Bentley. Ball's kicked forwards by Adams, who's switched now and is playing in that left fullback position. And 6 minutes of added time here to complete proceedings here at Naciol Stadium. And this could be one more chance as he's brought down directly down in the center of the pitch. It's been a game that has been dominated by Hume City from start to finish at this rate, but still a couple minutes still to play and anything could happen. Rezai going to his left towards the byline for Tsakis. He's animated on the bench as he has been all afternoon pretty much. Rezai tried to keep it alive. Coyne's kick will go over the line and it will be the Bentley Greens to throw it back in here. And there's a sense of urgency here for Bentley. They know time's ticking. Can they try and put one finishing touch? Oldfield coming all the way out of his area. Busasa, he's got options. Where will he go? Decides to go left to Steve White. Steve White, who's got Conte for company. He's one-on-one with Brando Conte. And it's Conte managing to win the football there. And all the way back into the favour for Bentley. Ball goes back all the way into the back third, but it was a little bit of a mistimed kick there. Ball wasn't quick enough. Christopher Oldfield, he was lucky he was somewhat reasonably close to the football there. He managed to kick that one away. That would have been really costly for Hume City if they didn't manage to recover it. That's the last thing you want if you are Hume City here, is to give up a little bit of a lazy pass. Header falls from Frangi to Dennis Menelau. He made the start in the first game against Caroline Springs George Cross. This time, for the last 2 games, he's been on the bench. Dennis Menelau, definitely another player to watch out for. What can Bentley provide? Tries to cross it in. Ball was headed away by a diving header. It was by Calva. Bingham. Tsukamoto in space. Thought about going centrally. They're outnumbered here. This could be a really good chance. Frank Busasa, he's in space. It's an even numbers game here. All the way off to Josh Kane, who might have a chance. Brendan White's there, who was just off his balance. And it was a really promising build-up from the youngsters of Hume City. But just given away in the very last minute of that passage. Joshua O'Kane, he ran out of space. I'm sure he would have loved another metre of pitch to really run into, because I'm sure he would have managed to net one there. Nevertheless, though, Bentley lived to keep the game at 1. Boys, it's been some game here this afternoon, might we add. After the events that happened last night at Churchill Reserve, Oakley getting that 3-1 win. And of course that epic Senol NPL Victorian Grand Final rematch between Dandy City and Heidelberg. Dandy City getting that win. This time out though, there has been drama in abundance here. And a yellow card being awarded to Frank Busasa, who's come on. Boy, has it been quite the afternoon of football for the past 24 hours. Both these teams really rolling back some momentum. Brendan White. Bentley are down to 10 men as well, so they really are struggling. Obviously being down an extra man, they're just struggling to have the numbers game. And you can see they're just being beaten on the transition at the moment, but it won't matter because that ball's kicked away by Brando Conte. Brando Conte, who's wearing the number of Alan Jerez. Alan Jerez, who went down with an injury last week against Avondale. And I think we might be finishing just this game. Maybe in the nick of time. Tsukamoto in space, tried to go to his left, the youngster from Perth. I did feel a little raindrop fall on me just then, so I think we might be wrapping up this game just the nick of time, because I'm just looking in the distance over here towards our west. It does not look healthy whatsoever, so I'm no Jane Bunn, that's for sure, but I think maybe the ponchos might be the way to go if you are heading anywhere, so make sure you come equipped with an umbrella or a poncho. Definitely not looking healthy, just like last night. Not good for the under-23s, fellas. That might be taking kickoff directly behind us here. But nevertheless, though, we're glad that the rain has held off for this one, because all we needed for this one was some football to be played in wet weather, and maybe the drama would have been a little bit more than what it already has been. Bentleigh, maybe one last roll of the dice. Frangie was inside the box. Ball's played and just kept alive and just sails over the byline. This might be one last roll of the dice here, and you can just hear George Vatsakis yelling at his boys saying, Brandon, come in. Brandon White is going to be coming. They need all the numbers possible for this one. This could definitely be their last possible attack. Patrick Hogan. The corner comes in. Brendan White's in there as well. And another missed opportunity there from Rezai, and that might be the ball game here, folks. This game has had everything, but there can only be one at the end of the day. And it's Hume City's at the moment. That might have been the last real chance for Bentleigh. Christopher Oldfield had quite some game. And that is full time here at National Stadium. Hume City are able to build upon what was a fantastic performance last week against South. 2 wins from 2. And they get the 3 points secured and put their name back up in the winners column. Hume City are the victors here at National Stadium. It was a very, very close and hard-fought contest by Bentleigh, but it was ultimately Hume City that were on another level here today. Outclassed, outsmarted, outmaneuvered Bentleigh Greens in every facet of football here. And no matter the way you look at it, Hume City, well, they were Hume City, they played fantastically. Bentleigh, though, definitely can keep some positivity, being is that their defense really, really held up. The new acquisition of Kalu Kamara and Michael Boffey proving to be really well spent. So still positive signs to take away, especially for the Bentleigh Greens. But today's about Hume City and them netting 3 points for them as well. That is full time here at National Stadium after a very drama-filled day here, after what was an incredible game of football. from both these two sides, but at the end there can only be one, and it is Hume City walking away with 3 points. And at full time, it is Hume City 1, Bentley Greens 0.
Avoid the rain.
Maybe avoid the rain, maybe we can go bowling there. So, yeah, we'll decide. Either one of those two is fine with me. Good stuff, mate.
Yeah, bro.
That was good.
Thanks the rain too.
Yeah, I know. Literally, bro, I saw it out in the distance because all that shit's like rain coming.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, you just don't tell me.
Oh, yes.
You're unplugging your equipment on one.